When we consider how many free materials are there now available on the internet, in video form, in articles and blogs, why would anyone opt for something like a paid course, or even a coach, or a mentor? This is what we are going to talk about today on Executive Psyche. Hello and welcome everyone to the Executive Psyche channel. My name is Peter Novak and I'm a transformational life and mindset coach. Bearing in mind this is the channel's first video to go public, I really wanted to talk a little bit about an obvious question. What is the deal with the business in general? Why are they mentors, coaches and programs when you can find literally thousands and millions of hours of content on YouTube on these topics? You can read an article for free, you can follow a blog for free. Why is there even a need for anything like coaching, mentorship, or even paid courses? Even though I have maybe unwisely already disclosed that I am a life coach, I am going to try to be as objective as possible, because it's really not that long ago that I was looking for my first mentor, that I was looking through the courses, that I was making my research on YouTube, on blogs, in articles. And I vividly remember the frustration that I was facing when thinking about, should I even register for a course and should I be even finding a mentor? It's going to cost me money for something that I could probably research myself online. And the unfortunate thing about this feeling is that it just doesn't go away. It doesn't go away after you read a couple of books that you had to pay for and you found them to be interesting. Maybe you learned something new from them. Maybe you already did a course and maybe you didn't get the result that you wanted. Now what? Did you waste your money? Was there something to be salvaged from it? Would you or should you even consider doing another course or actually working with a mentor? Or is it just a sign of that this whole idea is just a waste of time and money? To be absolutely honest, I think that the notion may actually be right. There is a possibility that there is literally every information that you can get from a mentor or from a course somewhere out there in the internet for free. And providing the time and effort for the research, you may actually find it. I myself have definitely learned a lot from all the free sources and from the very inexpensive things like ebooks and even printed books. But there is an analogy, or maybe an example, that I would like to share with you. There exists currently on the internet something called the Library of Babel. And the library contains all the information, all the words, sentences, paragraphs, books, words, quotes, speeches, everything that ever was said, was written, will be written, or is being written right now. Some of you may currently be wondering, oh no, he's just one of those esoteric coaches, the spiritual stuff. No, this is actually a real site and you can go visit it. I will put a link in the description below. And there really is everything that will ever be written in there. The only problem with this Library of Babel is that it is quite large. And by quite large I mean unimaginably huge. You can search for anything that you are now thinking about and you will find the exact page in the exact book on the exact shelf in the exact room of the library. But the problem is that there are just so many pages in so many books that if you didn't know what you are searching for, you would never ever find it. And while the internet is not as large as this Library of Babel, even though it technically... But the library is on the internet, so maybe the internet does contain everything. Correction, while the main part of the internet may not be this vast of a place, it is still huge. And if you don't know what you are searching for, it is going to be quite difficult to find. Another thing that I experienced is that when I was searching for help in regards of my motivation and discipline were the main factors that helped me to actually do the research properly and to structure everything and to actually learn it, not just binge watch it. And it may not be ideal to have the two most important skills that you need be exactly the skills that you are actually trying to improve. That is also the reason why universities exist, even though you can just go to the library. You will probably be able to borrow every single book on the recommended reading list through the entire curriculum of the university. And you will be able to learn everything, right? In practice, people probably found that it is not as easy as it sounds, and Well, it doesn't actually sound very easy at all anyway. But you may say, Peter, you sound like a typical coach. You're just trying to defend your own position. That is really not my intention. I believe that the free resources are of great importance and they can really transform your life on their own. It is just going to be a more difficult journey, and to some people, this extra difficulty may be what makes or breaks the progress. But Peter, what about the courses? There are so many of them, so many fake gurus. It's basically the same as the free stuff anyway. I just have to waste money on it. Thank you very much, unspecified critical viewer. While I agree that there is a large amount of courses currently available, I wouldn't necessarily see it as a bad thing. In this regard, I would really like to rather speak directly to you, the viewer, because here I believe we are dealing with something more of a mindset problem, not really with an influx of courses that are just useless. We are just so used to going only for the very best, sifting through the apples to find the most beautiful shiny ones, only buying electronics from manufacturers who have been in the market longer than you have been alive probably. A mentality of the best or nothing. The truth is, especially with something as personal as education, a course that is not the best, quote unquote, decided by the market forces, may actually be the best for your situation. It is not easy at all to foresee which teacher, which coach, which mentor is going to be the best fit for you, and which course actually contains the most important information that will help you in your success. That is why I would recommend definitely try to research as much as possible from the free resources. Then I would even advise to go for multiple courses. If you are inspired to take one course and you find out that maybe it wasn't the perfect fit, maybe some information are still missing, maybe it is just not what you needed to take the step and actually make it happen. In that case, I wouldn't recommend just thinking that a course is not going to help me because I already tried one. The problem is usually not in the course itself, but in the follow-through. The course can teach you really important information, but if you do not follow through with motivation, discipline, and dedication, the results may appear very small or none at all. And the second try can not only provide you with, well, a second try, but it can also provide you with a slightly different angle and perhaps even a teacher that is more your style. But so, where does it leave the poor coaches and mentors? They are completely useless at this point, right? You have already researched so much from the free resources. You have researched so much from the almost free resources like ebooks. And you have learned even more when you went through a course or two. But here is my take on it. Everybody should have a mentor. An inspiration, a role model, a helping hand, a guide on the path. Even the greatest of the greats that know that basically no one is better than them should have a mentor. What is even more important than that is that a good mentor or a good coach should already have experience with what you are dealing with. And by experience, I don't mean reading a book or going through a course. By experience, I mean actually having to deal with it. Remember, life coach is not a therapist. It is not a psychiatrist. It is not a medical professional. He is not going to look at you, diagnose you, and think about what medication or what kind of therapy to prescribe you. He is simply another human being who was at some point motivated to take up this path. And he was very likely motivated by exactly the same problems that you are facing right now. I cannot overstate how important it can be to not only receive information, but also the direct transfer of emotion and experience. I'm not a spiritual life coach, so I'm not going to call it a transfer of energy, but there is just so many incredibly important details that make it feel like a transfer of energy. The look in their eyes, the posture, their confidence, the tone of their voice, everything about the human-to-human interaction, the sympathy and empathy, this direct connection, this all transfers information that is normally not encoded in what you read or hear in a course. It is something that your brain is able to process and you are able to understand on a deeper, emotional, unconscious level. And as I have briefly mentioned, this connection, this empathy, this feeling that this person understands actually what you are going through. They have gone through the same as you, and they have helped others. They have seen people in your exact situations, and they have seen them transform their lives beyond recognition. This seemingly simple fact can be the make or break difference between success and failure. That is why I believe that coaching and mentorship is still extremely important. And that is also why I chose to start doing my coaching online as well. If you have seen me 3 years ago, you would never recognize me as the person that I am today. I do not have any shoutouts to give. I have worked with many people over the years, and I have worked with myself, with books, with courses, and with the free stuff that is floating around on the internet. And I have managed to transform my life, and that has motivated me to help others locally. And now, finally, I want to help others online as well. And while this is my profession, I really and truly want this channel to be something special. I don't want to hide anything behind a paywall or anything similar. Of course, if you choose to work with me one-on-one or in a group setting, I would be very welcome to help you that way. But it will be my goal and my passion to turn this channel into something that people with all kinds of different problems in life, different problems with mindset, with relationships, success, I want to answer as many of them as possible. And so if you are not really ready for any coaching per se, you can consider subscribing. Each week I will be posting 2 videos on topics that I believe are extremely important and can be, at least to some degree, generalized for this format. And I believe that they will bring you great value if you are looking to improve your life yourself, currently now only using the free floating things on the internet. And for today, thank you very much for watching. This has been Peter for Executive Psyche, and I will see you next time.